Hi. Welcome to the Field of Streams, where every week I, your host, Janine McRae, read a short piece of my writing to you so that you don't have to. These pieces of writing are very short for the most part, so why not subscribe to this podcast and get a little dose of me in your ears every week? It's really quite painless. Now, today's episode. This one's pretty simple in terms of theme. It's about separating your life from your work and not letting your employer suck the life right out of you, which, happens. You've got to protect yourself. I framed the piece around this concept of a mort safe and creating yourself a mort safe, which had been something I'd been reading about at the time. If you're unfamiliar with the term, a mort safe was a sort of metal cage that got built over your grave to deter grave robbers from stealing your body back in the 19th century. See the correlation? Don't let your job steal any part of you. Is that what I mean? Yes, that is what I mean. No part of you should be stolen by your job. The mort safe was invented in 1816 and was placed over coffins for the first 6 weeks after your little box there was lowered into the earth. The first 6 weeks was apparently when bodies were most ripe for the picking. Now, what were they picking them for? Medical schools mostly. Okay, that's enough informational exposition. Let's get on with it. So now, without any further digging my own grave, here is me reading to you a piece of my writing called DIY Life Hack. Build your own mort safe. You must build it. Don your welding goggles and burn-proof gloves. Collect the steel and bend your bars. Then get out there and build it. Create a clear delineation between your life and their end-of-year financial reports. The bars of, I'm here, but access to me is not an all-day, everyday thing. There must be no heart burglary, no brain steal, no shady and purposeful pilfering of your hours and drive. On either side, a mort safe. You must build it, and you must build it now. You must build it, lest the accountants of your 9 to 5 put all your hours in their ledger, leaving you none for your own endeavours. Work is work, and all work has value, but don't make their work your entire life's work. Work as in the paid work that allows for the dreaming hours. Work as in the rent-paying necessity. Work as in the daily, the on someone's dime, the job. Hopefully fulfilling, but ultimately not everything, W-2 type work. If you let it, your job, which belongs to them, will consume you. Incrementally, tiny bite by increasingly larger bite, until you are wolfed down and your bones burped out. It is a dine and dash affair. A broad daylight great grand larceny. But it is you who leaves the door unlocked and the pathway clear. You who lets it happen. Build yourself a mort safe that protects you from those body snatchers who mean you no real harm. They just want your knowledge and have paid you for the privilege of access, but rip you apart in the process. They're hungry, you're hungry. Let's stop eating each other. Find the balance between their work and yours, or more accurately, between their time and yours, and choose to be a superstar in both worlds. The air between the bars of your mort safe allows for the passage of everything good in both directions, allowing you to devote yourself to the business of work and the work of your business. A metaphorical mort safe allows you to work fully and with whole presence and dedication to the task without allowing scope creep of one world to the other, without allowing the detrimental bleed that seeps in and dilutes the bright colours of each. Build yourself a mort safe. Do it before the resentment, the painful longing, and the bitterness sets in. Before you get fired. Separate the church of your mind, body, and heart from the state of your being. There are lots of materials that go into a metaphorical mort safe. setting email and availability boundaries, not working every weekend, not absorbing other people's jobs without compensation, just to name a few. But for me, the biggest piece of a creative mortsafe is the cultivation of self-awareness. It is the ability to recognise when your scales are tipping too low in one direction. The ability to recognise that you're the kind of person who loves their work so much that you allow it to overtake every aspect of your life. It becomes who you are. In doing so, you devalue your existence. You set the tone for others around you, a tone that says it's okay to ignore or shelve your life for someone else's dream. It's not okay. It's never okay. Confession. I am prone to work/life scope creep, with work being the creeper and life being the crept upon. In the past, the scope of the paying job has oozed like a mould into my life, consuming the fresh flesh of my every waking hour. I sort of loved it, even though it made me sick. When this happened, stress bubbled in my veins and panic sprang eternal. Every day, every hour. It was exhausting. Everything suffers in an always on, always connected to the clock world. Everything. When that happens, you must tap the bars of your mortsafe and remember this. They don't love you like you love them. And they aren't your family, no matter what they say to justify their presence at your dinner table in the form of a ding on your smartphone. If they're at your dinner table, newsflash, you're on the menu. Do not become your employer's work. Don't kid yourself that the whole place would fall apart if you left. It's a business. They might genuinely love having you there, and it's only natural for them to take advantage when you are willingly giving without the protection of a mortsafe. But there are plenty of talented people in the world, people just like you. Your employer might truly be sad to see you go, but your seat will barely have time to cool before they find someone else to sit in it. Let's address the elephant inside this newly constructed mortsafe. The elephant says that we must recognise along with bad bleed, good bleed occurs on both sides of a professional, salaried relationship. Thank the stars! Good bleed is beneficial to both parties. Trust me when I say I would not know how to manage or produce my personal projects, my big dream sleds, if I'd not had the privilege to observe and be part of large, cog-grinding assignments at places where I've hung my shingle. On the flip side of that shingle, various employers would not have harvested the many fields of lush grain inside my weird brain if I did not let it grow upon their acreage. But that doesn't mean you don't need a mortsafe. You need to protect the boundaries of the mutually beneficial relationship. Your time and services are for hire, not for sale, and certainly not ripe for theft. Body snatchers were also called resurrectionists, so let's steal a little lesson from their corpse-filching ways. Build a mortsafe today. Resurrect yourself on the daily from the safety of your well-defined DIY protective cage. Resurrect your spirit and your soul, your heart and your mind, and work freely and with purpose. The mortsafe will allow your talent to function and perform without fear of dismemberment for scientific study. The devotion and application of your skills will occur willingly and be delivered with great and genuine gusto. Set your boundaries and establish safe zones for your sanity. Work life is long. Build a mortsafe before you die from it. And there you have it, today's episode. I hope you'll come back for more. I share these missives as a way of perhaps inspiring creative folk to get out there and make something of their own. If you enjoyed this little meander through my brain, feel free to share it with a friend, and be sure to follow the podcast so that you never miss an episode. And if you enjoy my writing, you can follow me on janinemccrae.substack.com. But until next we meet, I'll leave you with this. Love what you love, and I'll see you out there making stuff.